What's going on, all you gamers? Here we are back with some more Hades, and today I'm going to be bringing you a build that can make things a lot easier. If you want your life to be easier, if you want to get further than you have, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back, all you gamers. As always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon? I'll bring you all the latest and greatest in hints, tips, guides and builds, and just some fun gameplay and reviews of the latest upcoming games. But for today, I'm here to show you a build that should really help you on your adventures in Hades. So if you're struggling with the game, this right here will definitely get you further. Now, first and foremost, there are a few things you need to know, because there's things that can really help you to kind of make your way a little bit easier in the game. First off, obviously, this mirror just here, it does take a lot of darkness, but let me show you what you want to invest in. You do not need to worry about the fact that I've chucked a load into this. You do not need anywhere near this much. The main thing you're going to want is, if you have it, just down here, and that's thick skin. Any extra health is absolutely amazing. However, when I first completed the game, I don't believe I had this, so don't worry too much if you haven't unlocked that yet. But if you have, try and get that on, because extra health is always really nice. The other ones that I would highly recommend, invest in Death Defiance as much as you can. Having at least 2 of these will really help you progress in the game. Obviously, it's got 3 max, it's like an extra life of sorts, and it really does help you to progress in your levels, meaning that you're going to be able to get through some of the tougher enemies, some of the boss levels. Even if you die, you'll progress a little bit further because you've got that 50% kind of coming back to you when you die. Next up, and the only thing that you need 100% no matter what, is greater reflex. This is the first thing you should invest in. If you can, try and get some of the others that I just told you about, but they're the main ones you're going to want. After that, pretty much whatever you can invest in, go for it, but they're the main ones you want to kind of progress further in the game, because it'll really sturdy your build. Now, like I said, don't worry if you haven't got too much. The build itself should help you along your travels anyway. But one thing you will need, and will definitely help you out, just over this way, if you go to here, there's 2 keepsakes that you will definitely need. The first one is this one called Blood-Filled Vial. All you're going to have to do to get this is to give one of the nectars to Ares. So when you see that Ares buff on the floor, make sure you press, on Xbox at the very least, the right trigger to hand him the nectar, and then it will give you this back as another gift. Also, just over here, old spiked collar. All you're going to need for this one is to bop just over this way, make your way back to the main hall, and when you've got some nectar again, you're going to chuck it straight over to Cerberus. He will then give you that as a reward. That right there, when it's maxed out, will give you the extra 50 health. Having health in this game really helps you out, and those 2 are the key things that you're going to need to make this build kind of work. And like I said, anything you can invest in a mirror will help you in abundance as well. It's not needed if you're just trying to make your way through as a beginner, but it will definitely help you if you're trying to complete those levels and trying to finish off the final boss. Right, so what I'm going to do is just kind of little boss fight with Hydra to show you what this build is roughly about. Then I'm going to go over the build guide, and after that, if you want to see how to defeat Hades himself, you can stay tuned for that. I was very tired when I did that, so if I remember correctly, I did die a few times, but it just shows you how strong the build is, because I wasn't playing very good in the slightest, and it still wasn't really too tricky, to be perfectly honest.
safekeeping.
Right, so hopefully from that you can see that this build is very versatile. It's all about range, but it also does a nice bit of damage close range if you can manage to get the perfect setup. However, you don't even need that. This revolves around one key aspect, and that is the shield with Ares, and it's got to be Ares Doom effect on his special. As you could see from the footage, whenever you're hitting those enemies, this coming down with an effect over their head and doing a lot of damage. Really nice. It's applied each time as a curse, and you can really use this to your advantage. Even if you're worried about your health, you can hit them, run off and do as you will. The main thing is you need to apply it and then just wait for it to kind of proc. So what you want to do is just make sure that you are using the shield. The first one is perfect. I completed it with this first one, no upgrades, no nothing. Honestly, you don't need to worry too much. If you've got one of the others, it will almost definitely work better. I would completely stay clear of this one. It doesn't work well with this too much at all, but either of these two and you'll be completely fine. If you've unlocked that one, then you'll probably do much better as it does a lot more damage. But even if you've got nothing invested into this and you've got the starter shield, the Aegis aspect of Zagreus, you will be able to do this and you'll be able to pull this build off really well and easy. Next up, and what you're going to want to do, like I said, you need to get Ares boons. The main one involved will be Curse of Pain. Your special inflicts doom. I got a bit lucky with some of these, but you don't need that much. Honestly, as long as you've got Curse of Pain, as long as you've got a few other bits in your build and you center it around that special move, just throwing it out like this over and over again, then you will be able to pull this off and you'll be able to make your way really far in the game. Even if you've got a lot less health, even if you've got a lot less invested, I did this from the beginning. I made sure that this actually worked because I've actually got all 3 clears with this shield, and I've not, touched wood yet, I've not had really any issues. Right, so as you can see from this, I've got Curse of Pain level 6. Like I said, I was a bit lucky with this and it does 211 damage. Also, a really nice one that I like having on this is Explosive Return. Your special deals 50 damage to foes around you when you catch it. The main thing that you're going to be looking for with this will be to get the POMs. They upgrade your level and make sure you've not got too much invested in other areas. So for me, I literally just took Curse of Pain, and that way whenever I was using the POMs, it would upgrade that. It makes it a lot easier and it means you can focus on just upping the damage of your special move and such and doom. Again, when you go for the hammer, if you can, Explosive Return is really good. If you haven't got that, there's another one that's also really good, and that's Dreadflight. That right there means that your shield is going to bop around even more, and it will mean you'll clear the content faster because it's going to apply that doom to even more enemies. Really nice, and you're going to be just using it over and over again. It's going to continually go to everything, apply that, and most times, especially in early levels, everything is just going to pop. Now next up, and I've got Breaching Rush on this one because I was really unlucky. That was the first one I got. Don't worry about that in the slightest. Get anything you can. If you've got some kind of a buff to your defense, it's absolutely amazing. If you've got something that can make them hit less, so say for example you've got an Aphrodite one where they're going to take weakness, that would be perfect as well. Like I said, the main thing you're going to do is focus on your special move and focus on upping that doom. They're your main prerequisites. Next up, and for myself, I really like this one, Curse of Vengeance. I got this to level 3. If I could upgrade this even more, there is no doubt in my mind that you can pretty much take on the final boss just by standing in front of him and letting him probably punch himself to death. This right here is absolutely amazing, and especially when you've got a lot of health in your build, you can really stand in front and tank people because they're going to do a lot of damage back to themselves. Obviously you will still need to be kind of applying your doom, but all in all a really nice move and a really nice for dwindling down their energy. But again, not essential. Like I'm saying, the main thing you need is the shield and the Curse of Pain. They're the only 2 things you're going to need, and at any level if you're just trying to make your way through the content. If you're trying to get a little bit further or complete it, obviously you're going to want to upgrade them. You're going to want to try and get them to epic and such if you can, but I didn't have it the first time when I completed it. I think mine was on blue or rare, sorry, so you'll definitely be able to do it even if you haven't got anywhere near as much invested. Now next up, and we've got Blood Frenzy. Now this is a really nice one. What it does is after you've done your Death Defiant, after you've died as such, you're going to come back, and when you do, you're going to hit them a little bit harder. It really can help you out in those tricky situations if you're struggling on the boss battles. Where with this build, honestly, the boss battles will be the only thing you've got to worry about. All the standard enemies will just absolutely disintegrate in front of you. The main thing with this, if you are losing to the bosses, it's probably more so that you've got to get used to their tactics and working out how to fight them and beat them. Once you've got that down, once you know how to do it, you're just going to tap them with that, make sure that that's applied with the Doom, and you're going to be able to hit them over and over whilst you speed around the room using your dash. So that right there was the first build I had. The second one, like I said, I did this much earlier on and I didn't have anywhere near as much invested. I'm going to chuck that on the screen now. Again, as you can see, it's kind of a variation, but it's basically the same thing. You need to be using the shield, you need to be using Impending Doom, the Dreadflight, like I said, making it easier for kind of getting to the bosses because you'll clear the content faster. This one also has Battle Rage, which is really good. It's another one that you're going to be able to get off Ares. Most of the time what you're going to want to do is just pick up as much Ares boons as you can. Ares, make sure you've got special, make sure you've got Doom, and you will be completely good to go with this build. And like I said, with my last one, I didn't have anywhere near as much invested. I was only on the rare version of Curse of Pain, and it was level 5. Quite easily achievable in pretty much any run. As long as you're picking up those poms and have a little bit of luck, you should be able to get into this quite easily most times. So all in all, like I said, the main prerequisites, as you can probably see from the background, just make sure that you're using that shield. Apply that Doom to everything you can. If you've got Dreadflight, it will do it itself. It's going to bounce between everything. It's going to make things really easy for you. I would say if you're really at the beginning of playing this game, Dreadflight will definitely be the way forward. If you're a little bit stronger or you've played quite a bit more, you may want to invest in someone else like Explosive Return. That way you're going to get in a bit closer, and when you do that, you're going to hit them for a bit more damage and clear them really nicely, even the bosses. But all in all, grab yourself as much health as you can for the end. Grab yourself as much as you can into Impending Doom, and just make sure that you kind of plan a little bit defensively. So if you want to be quite far away, you want to throw at your shield from a distance, it's a long range build most times, unless you're going for a little bit extra with the Explosive Return. But all in all, really nice, really fast at clearing for what it is, and really flexible. If you want to get some other stuff on the build, you really easily can. If you can get some defense in there, if you can get something from Aphrodite that makes it so that some of the bosses do 30% less damage when they're weakened, that also works perfect. Even if you want to chuck a little bit in there with some extra crit or something, again it works really well. You just got to focus on the ones I said, and the rest of it is completely down to either your choice or a bit of luck with RNG. All in all, as long as you've got Impending Doom, as long as you're using the shield, you're going to be able to get really far in the game, progress your way through and have a lot of fun doing it, because it shouldn't be quite as tricky and you shouldn't hopefully be falling over as much. Alright, all you guys and girls, I'm going to chuck on the Hades footage now. Obviously it is a bit of a spoiler, it is the last boss, so if you don't want to see that, don't worry about it, just click off now. The build is as it is, like I said, nice and easy to focus on, nice and easy to put together, and you're going to be able to do it as soon as you walk outside this door, because you've grabbed the vial from over here, that one just there. You're going to make sure that you pick it up straight away outside here, and most times you'll be able to get that first Impending Doom. But yeah, I'm going to chuck on the footage of Hades now. Like I said, it was about 4 in the morning, I wasn't playing the best, and it still wasn't too difficult to be perfectly honest. But as always guys and girls, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, take care, I'll see you on the next day.
Alright, this is it.
This cold white substance falling slowly from the heavens. Snow, they call it. Look carefully upon each fleck. Tiny crystals, but structurally weak. They melt. This surface realm, it is held up by mine.
If you're quite finished teaching me about this snow phenomenon, can we get on with brutally trying to kill each other here?
You wish to have your mortal-colored blood spill once again upon this bed of snow, then fine. Let us proceed. Darkness. Now. Darkness. Wake up, boy.
Send your wretches back where they belong.
Darkness. Darkness.
Behold our power.
Athena would be wiser to stay out of this. Darkness. Darkness. Darkness.
This again. I'm empty. Oh, that hurt.
Darkness. Right.
Let's finish this.
Such contempt for your own father. But we are not finished here yet. Enough! This is for your own good.
You're under my protection.
You had your chance. Let's see you run from this. How is this possible? That this should... My strength fails.
I did it. In the name of